Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for the crypto market recap. Let's hop into these charts, see what the story is and what it may be. And remember, if you're interested in any of the services I provide, please check the links in the description below for both the Patreon and Discord. Okay, so we're gonna go over Bitcoin and we'll go over a few other coins like Ethereum, XRP, and a few others. See if I have time for it. Okay, but let's definitely stick with Bitcoin right now. And as we can see, we're continuing trading under the orange line, so we're under the bear flag structure. All right, which is to be expected. We actually did swipe under the lows of yesterday. We made a new daily low of 35,200. But we've been bought back up above that low and above yesterday's daily low. So we'll see in this candle, which has about 6.5 hours left in the day, if it can close above yesterday's low or even close higher, or if it's just going to close within it, pretty much within the wick of yesterday. And if that's the case, then I have to say it's more likely that we start a consolidation. And of course, it's more likely to have a bearish bias, so you may see it kind of curl up towards the upside and maybe even come back towards the orange line to test as resistance. Okay, so if you see something like this forming, then it's very likely that once we start testing the orange line's resistance, that the bias, or at least I should say the probabilities, will lean towards a rejection here and then a move lower. Okay, and so if something like that happens, my current minor support levels of 34,000 to 35,000 will likely be run through. Okay, so I am interested to possibly open long at 34,000 and 35,000, but it really depends on how price action really performs today and early and tomorrow. I'll give it tomorrow as well. So if we see, by the end of the day, Bitcoin is flushing down towards 35,000, 34,000 within today and tomorrow, then I'm likely going to open long at 34,000, 34,500. I'll be a lot more confident to open long there. But if I do see it having a bearish consolidation prior to that drop, and especially testing this orange line, well, then those minor support levels are likely to get run through, and we're going to go straight towards the major supports, which are about 33,000, 30,000, and 29,000. Okay, so I go over in my tutorings major minor supports and what price action to look for, or at least price structures to look for in regards to them. And what I mean by that is, if you're having elongated candles moving really fast in a direction, well, you're going to treat certain supports differently rather than if you're going to have consolidations above or below supports and resistances. Your outlook and your targets, whether it's an entry or an exit, should change. Okay, I won't go into too much detail with that, as again I reserve that for the tutorings. And if you're interested in that, please check out the Patreon. It's about $400 a month. You get one session per week, so it's $100 a session, and I can tell you they're very beneficial. They're very good. I can go as novice as you'd like, or we can go as intermediate or expert as you like. Again, it's very good. It's very good, especially if you want to kind of learn how I trade and really be able to make your own success. Okay, eventually my goal would be that you would leave the group, at least leave the group as a paying member and just trade on your own. Okay, that's my goal if you join the tutoring sessions. All right, but for us, especially if you're still following my trades right now, I'm watching very closely today and tomorrow. If we start consolidation, well, 33, 30,000 and 29,000 will be my first levels where I'm interested to start opening up a long position. But if we start flushing down today and tomorrow, then be on the lookout. 34,000, maybe even 35,000. I may initiate and start a long position. Of course, I don't think it will hold there long. I just think that it's likely, if we have a strong flush down, that you may have a zoom back up, maybe even back towards the orange line, or at least back towards this level here at 36,200, 36,500. All right. Okay. So let's go over Ethereum real quick. Oops, did not hit it. There we go. Okay, so Ethereum, again, very similar to Bitcoin, under its structure. Currently, pretty much currently trying to hold the low of yesterday. It had a much larger drop today compared to Bitcoin. So we'll see how it holds up. Again, plenty of time to either go lower or higher. I don't see it retaking this line unless Bitcoin starts retaking its orange line. So just like how before I didn't really think Ethereum would lose this line until Bitcoin lost its orange line, and that's exactly what happened. So that's what I'm leaning towards. Again, the levels I'm looking at for Ethereum, minor level is 2500. Okay, minor support level is 2500. So you can see these pivots over here. So this zone would be the minor level I'm looking at, and if Ethereum gets to that level, within a day or two, this would be a very interesting place to initiate along as well. Okay, because then the likelihood is we will eventually get a bounce going back towards this line to test it as resistance. So we can maybe get a nice move back to 2800. Okay, so that would be my current roadmap if Ethereum has a strong sell-off. But again, if just like Bitcoin, if it starts a consolidation here that has a bearish sentiment, so it starts veering higher, creating a wedge or a flag, then 2500, there'll be some interaction there, but eventually you're just going to make a move down to 2300 and then probably sub 2000. I'll probably look to initiate a possible long at 2300 depending on how heavy the selling looks, but I will have the mindset that I'm prepared for a sub 2000 Ethereum. Okay, so again, if you're following the trades with me and you're a Patreon member, just make sure you have all the alerts up. That way you can be ready for whatever I may initiate. All right. Okay, so let's take a quick look at XRP. So XRP, again, still within that general zone. All right, I'm gonna change. Let's change this doodle. So I'm gonna make this a little cleaner, because we are seeing price kind of breaking away from it now. So let's get rid of some of these lines. But as we can see with XRP, it's still in that general demand zone, that 60 cents, 65 cent area. It's going to take a lot for it to break. And even now with Bitcoin breaking, its structure, possibly, again, it's not really confirmed in my book, but it's in the beginnings of doing it. That's for sure. We have to see, we have to see how much we can expect XRP go down. And I'm thinking 50 cents will be a massive floor. Okay, I don't know if it will hold forever, of course, no one knows that, but I do think if it starts losing this red box here, 50 cents is going to be a very attractive place for long-term accumulation, and even nice short swings, because if you're a swing trader, 50 cent psychological level, very powerful support on XRP, you're going to likely see a nice bounce right back to 60 cents at some point, 55 cents, and that's a great swing percentage. So there'll be a lot of activity at 50 cents. So that would be where I would be interested to possibly start buying spot. Again, not financial advice, just what I'm personally thinking about doing myself. Actually opening up a long leverage trade on this. I'm a little concerned. Again, I have been avoiding trading XRP for the Discord, mainly because there's a lot of uncertainty in regards of their legal disputes. Okay, but if they do break down towards these lower levels, especially 50 cents, it's pretty attractive to possibly grab some spot in case I would treat it more as a lotto ticket, because we can't be sure what's happening with the SEC. I may be confident that they may win, but it doesn't mean that they will win. So I would treat it a little bit more of like a lotto ticket, because hey, I could be wrong. All of us can be wrong. No matter how good the news may look for Ripple, the judge in the end makes a decision. And if they feel like it is a security, or they have malpractice, whatever, hey, that can't happen. That can happen. So we want to make sure not to be too exposed in case that happens. And hey, if it's found that they are innocent, that they aren't a security, and price goes super high, well, you don't need much to experience a lot of gains in that scenario. Okay. All right, but again, 50 cents, and should it break out to the upside, which is always possible, first level you want to look at 70 cents for significant resistance, and then 76 cents will be heavy resistance. Really, 75 to 80 cents is going to be like big resistance. Okay. And let's take a quick look at Luna. And I'm actually going to take a look at Tron too, because obviously you can see Tron's been outperforming today. Uh, Look at that. I mean, Luna, Luna's been a pretty cool chart. Respected the bear flag. And this is, oh my gosh, my apologies. Let's go back to Bitcoin. I knew I deleted something. My bad. So remember, I drew in the last video a descending wedge. It was a blue line. I accidentally deleted this line. There we go. Okay, so I said that this line from the wedge, so I'll just draw the top part of it too, just so we all remember. Well, I don't know if I'm drawing it correctly as I had it before, but pretty much it was like a short-term descending wedge going into the support of this orange line, which is, that's bullish. Okay, like that was a bullish indicator. And then we had the I see how I drew it before, and then we had the bullish breakout possibly forming right here, broke out right here, and then yesterday we had that massive candle that canceled it out. I said that bottom of this wedge, watch for it to act as resistance going forward. So we're going to keep this here. Let me make sure it's saved. We're going to keep this here until price comes back, and we'll see how it interacts. Okay, we'll see how it interacts. All right. So, and in any bounce, like, so let's say it goes back down to 33,000. You'll see a bounce that probably will come touch this, and we'll see if we can get past it. It may not. It may fail off of it and go lower. But yeah, I just want to keep that line there just to show that patterns, their trend lines, they are somewhat significant going forward into the future, which is, in my opinion, really, really cool. So let's go back to Luna. So Luna, again, hit that bear flag that it actually invalidated and then came back into and then kind of played out to a degree. It hit it twice, I would say twice, here, and kind of kissed it over here, and then has fallen back off, and now it's back in that general support range of $85, $80, right? It's a general support range. And, again, it has the bias of breaking lower, and in my opinion, it's very likely that we're going to see Luna break down, how its bounces around 67, 68 like this, but eventually it'll come down to this line here. And depending on where Bitcoin is, this could break under this structure, and then you'll see these lower levels. But the big major level first will be this ascending trend line, okay? So that's what we'll be watching. I may be interested to initiate along there, but again, it's going to be very dependent on how Bitcoin's looking at the moment. And let's take a quick look at Tron, because as you can see, Tron has been outperforming today. And, again, there's a lot of reasons for it. Let's go on a larger time frame. Let's start on the monthly. So, again, sorry, there's not that much data on Tron. It's overall younger asset, but it's in a it's in a pretty bullish structure, especially when compared to Bitcoin. Really like a cup and handle sort of structure on the monthly. And though I don't really like how it looks in regards to that. It's like it's not the cleanest, but it's a rounding bottom sort of structure, and it's in a triangle. More of a symmetrical triangle, but I will say, in my opinion, it has more of a bullish bias. So, if it has a clean breakout here, it may start showing relative strength to Bitcoin. And what I mean by that is, even though Bitcoin will either veer to the sideways or veer downwards, Tron may see some upside, at least for a time. Again, eventually it will follow the larger index, but it may start veering to the upside, especially if it has a really clean, decisive breakout of this triangle. And here on the weekly, it's a little cleaner. And I mean, there's a lot of fundamental stuff that's going on. They just released their stable coin, their DAO. So, if it has the same interaction as Terra Luna had when they did that, we could see some significant upside here. And that's one of the reasons why I did, mention this in the Discord. I explained why I bought some. Of course, I also said like it could go lower. So, you want a DCA in. And don't use money you're not okay losing, because again, we don't know how this stuff will actually play out. But overall, the current chart structure looked pretty bullish, and then fundamentally there were some big things happening in the project that could lead to something great. And so far it's been decent, but as we see, like it's definitely challenging the top of this line. We'll actually see if we can get that impulse. And off the weekly, we see it's wick there, and look off the daily. So after yesterday's big drop, it hit that line just above and just immediately sold off from there. And now this daily candle is attempting to regain most of the losses from yesterday. We'll see. Again, very young, very early part of the day, so there's plenty of time. And we'll see if we can actually finish it and close about 75%, or if it's just going to sell off and kind of confirm lower moves to the downside, right? So again, we'll see. If it starts a bullish consolidation here, then we might see this line break, and then Tron may have some big upside, and we can be seeing 10 cents relatively quickly and higher, in my opinion, if we have a clean breakout here. So pretty much, let's just say Tron starts making like a bull flag of some sort. Okay, there's a actually I drew that a little bit wrong, but let's just say it starts making like a bull flag of some sort. Okay, and then it finally gets the impulse to break higher, and then comes back on, and then goes like this. I mean, then you're likely going to see Tron going 10 cents, maybe even higher towards the 15-cent mark before, you know, a massive retrace. But again, dependent on how Bitcoin is doing overall. So we got to be a little bit careful. We don't want to, you know, I don't want to say this is going to go super high, because if Bitcoin's, you know, dumping hard, it's going to be extremely difficult for Tron to pull that off. Okay. But if you're in Tron, I mean, so far it's been performing great. You know, hey, we'll keep our eye on it. All right. I think that's all I'm going to go over today. Again, you know, if you're interested in my services, just check those links in the description below. I believe that they're worth it. I'm making sure to keep them overall affordable, especially the call outs. I'm making those call out the call out Patreon as affordable as possible, about $15 a month, which is crazy. It's actually going to be cheap. It is cheaper than Netflix now. That's horrible. I don't know how Netflix is. That's crazy. But yeah, I want to keep that service cheap. One, because the way I swing trade, we could have a month where we only have 1 or 2 trades. Sometimes we'll have 20 trades. Again, I don't guarantee that you're going to have a trade every week. I only trade the highest probability setups, and that's how our win rate stays the way it is. So, you know, I'm keeping it cheap because I also believe I want it to be free. So if you're trading with me with the equities, the crypto, hopefully those gains are covering $15. They absolutely should. Okay. And if you want tutoring, you want to learn how I trade, or you just kind of want to get rebuilt from the ground up to become a trader, to relearn the basics or whatever, or learn more advanced techniques, of course I offer that. You can check my Patreon for that. It's about $400 a month. It's the Lemon Lover tier, I believe. Yeah, again, if you're not going to be a paid member, please participate in the Discord. Feel welcome. I try and do weekly trades for free, 1 weekly trade for free members as well. And you could always ask me questions. I'm pretty liberal about the information I give. I share mostly everything for free, especially since most of my techniques, well, all of my techniques are free. I don't sell anything proprietary. The only thing I think is worth value for me is probably mindset and discipline, and really just honing in on the sentiment in charts. That's what I would say is probably the most valuable thing that I provide. And maybe also risk management. But even if you're a free member, hopefully my trades that you get to observe are kind of showing you what that means. You know, risk management, position sizing, and such. Okay? So everyone, remember, be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.